A transgender man is claiming he wasn't hired as a police officer in New Orleans because he's transgender.
This is a story WDSU Investigates first told you about 2 years ago, but now the story has a new twist and could soon end up before a judge and jury. Here's WDSU investigative reporter Travers Mackel with Blue Line Divide.
Ever since he was a child, Britton Hamilton always dreamed of helping others.
I want to help the community, especially people of color who view police officers badly.
But that dream of becoming a law enforcement officer in the city he loves ended just over 2 years ago. That's when Britton was initially hired by the New Orleans Police Department, granted conditional employment as an officer, set to start the academy. But just months later, it was all rescinded, and he feels it's because the department found out he's transgender. We caught up with Britton and his wife after he got that news back in 2021.
I was caught off guard when I saw that because I've been transitioning for over 6 years. My name has changed, my gender has changed. I'm married, I've been married since 2018. Legally, everybody views me, looking at me, I look, the part, I'm a man.
Britton was born female, named Brittany. After serving in the military, Hamilton began his transition in 2015, legally becoming a man in 2016. And in 2020, that's when he tried and then failed to join the NOPD. Hamilton's lawyer filed a complaint with the Federal Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, or EEOC, citing discrimination.
New Orleans is LGBT friendly, and me being a trans man, I believe that this would be the ultimate idea for me to apply for New Orleans.
And after 2 years of mediation, nothing has been resolved. So Britton filed this federal lawsuit against the city of New Orleans and the NOPD, claiming his civil rights have been violated and seeking damages for past lost wages, emotional distress, and legal fees, among other things.
Right now, the allegations seem very, very strong.
Megan Kiefer is a labor attorney who is not involved with this case, but did review the federal filing. In that filing, Britton claims the NOPD cites unpaid medical bills and unaccounted for military documents as the reason his employment offer was rescinded.
One of the reasons they say, oh, well, he didn't pay his medical bills. Really? Then I guess we have to ask questions about, what about the other officers on the force? Do they have outstanding debt?
The lawsuit also alleges, at the EEOC, despite every opportunity, the NOPD never denied that questions about his transition were asked of Mr. Hamilton in the psychological exam and a part of the hiring process.
Why was this person subjected to questioning in a psychological interview about how their experience was as a trans person? And some of the evidence that a jury is going to consider is, well, what did the counterpart interview look like? What did your regular heterosexual white guy's interview look like? Was he asked questions about how you're doing with your marriage, man?
This comes at a time when the NOPD is desperate to recruit and retain officers. The number of cops patrolling the streets of the city as low as it's been in decades. Mariah Moore with the House of Tulip, a New Orleans-based nonprofit focused on transgender issues, says the NOPD is fighting to be released from the consent decree that they were placed under, and this case is a clear example of why the consent decree is needed. There is still so much work to be done, and I fear that the progress they claim to be making is performative at best. We did reach out to the NOPD for a comment about this situation. They told us they had nothing to say about the lawsuit. On top of that, we also reached out to the Police Association of New Orleans and the Fraternal Order of Police. They also chose not to comment. It now appears this matter will be sorted out inside a federal courtroom.
You cannot discriminate against people if they're trans, if they're gay, based on sex. That's simple, okay? What's for a judge or a jury to decide here is why? Why did this person not get hired by the NOPD?
Reporting for WDSU Investigates, I'm Travers Mackel, WDSU News.
Travers thanks the lawyers for Britton Hamilton chose not to comment, saying the lawsuit speaks for itself. The case has been assigned to federal judge Greg Guidry, a Trump appointee in 2019. We do know the NOPD does employ at least one transgender officer. The department also has a group of LGBTQ liaisons.
Looking out the window